Davinci Resolve is one of the most popular video editors right now. It's a video editor, effects composer, graphics composer, color corrector, audio mixer, just about whatever you need it to be. You may be thinking, okay, this is all cool and all, but why should I use it? Well, one, did I mention it's free? And two, you can make stuff like this. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Garrett. Thank you for coming. And today we're talking about Davinci Resolve, if you couldn't tell already. One of the reasons that I am pushing this is because Davinci Resolve is going to be the primary software on this channel. So in future tutorials going forward, you can follow along and in the end understand what I'm trying to tell you in said videos. By the way, something quick to mention, Davinci Resolve, you may see on the website, there's also a studio version of Davinci Resolve. That is simply a paid version. That is not necessary at all if you're simply getting into general small time projects. It's only really needed for big time stuff. I don't have it. I am using the free version of Davinci Resolve right now. So let's go ahead, get on the computer and, well, show you how it's done. Okay. So the first thing you should see is this right here. You should go through a first time setup, but eventually in the end, you should arrive here. Now this here is the Davinci Project Manager. This is where you're gonna manage your projects. You're also gonna see this over here. This is your project libraries. This is where your libraries are, where you get to see where different projects are stored. It's for a way of organization, although you can make folders. So you can open a new project in two ways. First, you can double click or select Untitled Project and click Open. You can also simply go down here to New Project and click on it. So you can go ahead and name your project, and then you're just simply going to hit Enter or click Create. Now it should pull up Davinci right here. So this is generally the first page you're going to see. First, we're going over the media pool. Now what the media pool or the media page is this is where you import media into your media pool. And what your media pool pretty much is where all the media you're using in your current project is stored. So say you import images or audio or videos, all of which you can import. And it is a surprisingly wide format compatibility. So even if it's a format your base computer media player can't play, chances are Davinci Resolve can take it. It can even take 3D files. First things first, all we're gonna have to do is navigate through this. So yeah, I navigated here to my stock footage. So I have some pixels footage and whatnot here. So we're gonna go ahead and drag in this footage right here. Now you're gonna have the option to change your project frame rate. Now I haven't actually messed with the current project's frame rate. However, you can go in and change that if you want to. We are going to change the project frame rate to fit this clip because there is absolutely no reason not to. We are basically using no other clips. I'm going to click change and bam. Now not only is the clip in here, but the project frame rate is set to match it. You can simply click on the three dots box here and you can get a quick summary of different attributes of this, like the resolution or the frame rate, the aspect ratio, or the different codecs and the dates and stuff. What we're basically worried about is the frame rate, which is what we normally be worried about. But since the project frame rate is already set to this, we don't need to worry about it. The project frame rate is set just fine. So what we're going to go ahead and do is actually go ahead and move over to the cut page. So what the cut page is, it's built for speedy, quick editing. So you can simply just move to Playhead, cut. I'm actually going to go ahead and ripple cut here. And bam, now I have that. And then I have this, and then delete, bam. So it actually automatically ripple deletes everything, which is part of what makes it fast. So we can also, and by the way, when you delete part of a footage, it's not gone. In fact, you can just drag the end of the clip and drag it out because this entire thing is actually drawing from the source footage that you imported. Now, what you can actually do is go in here and you can actually go ahead and set an in and out point here. So now we have an in and out point here. Well, actually, we can go ahead and drag that in, and it made us rename it to a subclip and whatnot. But now we have a subclip. We can go ahead and delete that actually. And now that we drag in the sub clip, it's just a short part, and we actually can't drag it out because this is from this base sub clip, because this down here is actually drawing from this, not from this. And this is basically concrete. However, cutting is not exclusive to the cut page, as weird as it might sound. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the edit page. The edit page here is used for more complex stuff. So if it's anything even remotely complex, then just use the edit page. So now we're gonna go ahead and actually close down the media pool, which we can do by clicking the media pool button up here. Bam, media pool's gone because we're not drawing audio from there anymore. Now, if you want to zoom in, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it by this slider here, which will zoom it in and out. But you'll have to hold Alt and then scroll on the scroll wheel, and that will make smaller adjustments to your zoom. So to move the playhead, you can just click anywhere on here, and you can hold click to just move the playhead around, but you can click, drag the playhead and whatnot. And if you just click and hold, you just automatically start dragging the playhead and whatnot. So just a quick small thing to know. Now we're gonna go ahead and real quick mess with the inspector. The inspector is basically your toolbox. It can do all sorts of things to just about anything. Now that our eardrums aren't getting blown out by freaking waterfall, now we're actually gonna go ahead and move over to the Fusion page. Fusion is your complex toolbox. This is where you're doing all the complex stuff. Say, I feel like this clip could use a little mist concerning there's water there. So let's add mist. So we're gonna go ahead and hold shift. I'm gonna hit spacebar, and that will open the select tool menu. So we're actually gonna go ahead and click and type in noise, and you have 4 options here. This is probably from a plugin. What we're gonna go ahead and do is click on fast noise and then add. Now what we're also gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add an merge node. This right here is your merge node. So we're gonna click on this, click on merge, and then, or you can also do something else. Just drag this output. The block is the output, and you're gonna go ahead and hover over the output list node and let go. And bam, now it just added in a merge for you. By the way, if you want this kind of look here, if you want it to be more normal like that, more like elbows instead of straight lines, you can just right click, and then arrange tools to grid. You will want to do that. So to arrange tools to grid, that will make things snap like this. And if you want the pipes or the lines to actually connect like elbows, then you can right click, go to options, and click on Orthogonal Pipes. And that should get this right here. Now if you want to, now let's see what direct pipes look like. See, it is a direct pipe. I prefer orthogonal pipes because I think it just makes it easier to see. So now we have that. Now we're gonna go ahead and, oh, there's mist kind of everywhere, isn't there? We don't want that. In fact, that is very much what we don't want. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drag out a Polygon Mask. Now we're gonna go ahead and click on fast noise, or you can just drag this in regardless. So you're gonna go ahead and drag out the polygon and leave it there. Now we're gonna go ahead and connect it to the blue arrow of the fast noise. The blue arrow is actually the mask input. That is how you restrict parts of a effect or image to a specific part of the canvas. So we're gonna go ahead, click on the Polygon Mask. We're actually gonna draw a quick mask. Now we have that. That doesn't look like mist at all. We're not done. We're gonna go ahead and click on the Polygon 1. I'm gonna click on the inspector, open that, and we're just basically gonna crank up the soft edge. The border width, we can also increase that, but I'm not gonna increase it by much. In fact, if anything, it should be lower. So now we got some mist. We got some static mist. We want it to be moving mist because mist moves. So we're gonna go ahead and turn up the seethe rate right there. Gonna go ahead and turn up the brightness, turn up the contrast just a little bit, turn up the detail a little bit, It's a good way to see what the heck the seed rate is, sort of make fine-tune adjustments. Now here in the Fusion page is where you can hold control and make the fine-tune adjustments. So actually go to the polygon now, and we can go ahead and actually turn down the border width just a tad. And now we can go ahead and move to edit page, just so we can see what the heck we've created here. So we got some nice mist. Now, if we actually don't want to see the fusion effects, we can go ahead and click up here, and that will toggle what's called the bypass. This will bypass effects in Fusion and the color page. Now, if you want to disable it in one single place, just uncheck a particular one, like say the color page. We don't want to disable the color page. We haven't even gotten there yet. We're going to just have Fusion checked, and now when we toggle the bypass, all it will toggle is the fusion effect. So now what we're going to go ahead and do and go to the color page. This is basically your color grading suite. This is where it all changes. This is where you color grade and color correct absolutely everything. So we're going to go ahead and actually do something very specific. Actually go ahead and mess with stuff. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're not going to worry about making different nodes right now, but if you want to make a node, you can right click, go to add node. I'm going to go ahead and add the corrector. Now something that you can also do in the Fusion page, and you can also do here, is hold shift, hover over the line, and then let go, and it will automatically connect to both nodes. Now right now in this case it's connecting it to a node and an output, but it would also connect it between two different nodes. In Fusion, the output is a node. So, now we have two separate nodes here. We're not going to rename any of them. So what we're going to go ahead and do is on this one, we're going to go ahead and mess with the shadows and stuff a little bit. Now, if you look down here at the parade graph, is where you're going to determine the highs and lows of different colors. So in here, I'm in green. There's obviously more green, but the other colors have a part too. But the point here is that this also gives information on brightness and contrast, lift, gain, gamma, and stuff like that. Like, what should we do? So here, it looks like we're having some things on the lows clip in. So we're going to bring up a bit of lift. We don't want it bottomed out like that, but we do want it lifted a little bit. And then what we're also going to do is bring down the gain just a tiny bit. Again, we don't want it clipping through the ceiling. Could turn it way up and start losing data. So the offset will move basically everything. It will move both the brightness and the lift up. But we don't want that. In fact, we can go ahead and turn the gain up. If we start doing that, that will end up making it clip. So now we're going to go ahead and close the Fusion and just have it do the color page, and we're going to go ahead and check that. It's a bit misty, so we can turn the gain down a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and change the offset back. Turn this down by like a point or two. And we can also just change the general contrast here. But we're not going to change the contrast because this is what we're already doing. You can also change the temperature of it. So in the wintry theme, we're getting closer to fall and closer to the colder stuff, so I'd rather have that down a little bit. You can also turn up the details and everything. We'll turn it up to we'll do about a 40% increase in detail. So now, I'm going to go ahead and let the green just touch that, and then we can go ahead and toggle the bypass. We brought out a little more details in the darks. You might not be able to tell. I can't. If we go ahead and Control F, we can get a full screen view of this. You can see a tiny change in the dark areas there. Just enough to be noticeable. And then it does get a bit of a colder tone to it. So now that we have that and everything, you can also take the color wheel here and whatnot. Say the green. Move that to a different color. So we want these just to look dead. Bam, now we got dead looking leaves. But yeah, we're not gonna mess with the color warp or anything. You do also have curves here. Now if we want to see the changes overall, we can go ahead and right click, turn fusion on, and now we're about to turn off both. So we can click on this, bam, 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 bam. Personally, I think we actually added something to this. I don't think we ruined it all. I think we actually added some good stuff to this. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the Fairlight page. Now there isn't much we can do here, considering it is simply just waterfall sounds. However, there's quite literally basically nothing to do here. Unless we want to cause some distortion. Make it sound like a giant waterfall. Make it sound closer. I just realized that's what it did. So then, now we can simply just go to Deliver page. Now, either you can render the entire timeline and all the way to the end of the last clip, or you can go ahead and choose in and out range. We're going to go ahead with the entire timeline because there's only one clip here to worry about. We're going to go to here, and we're actually going to click on that, and now we're actually going to choose the DR renders. Save that, and now we're going to go ahead and type in waterfall, add the render queue, and we're going to go ahead and have it render out in MP4 at H.264. That should work perfectly fine. So now we have all that. Now we can actually click on, actually going to delete that and add the render queue. Now it's asking us to replace an existing file because this is a re-record. But yes, we are going to go ahead and replace the existing file. Click replace, bam. Now it's ready to go. Now if you want to edit the audio, you can go in here. Or if you want to edit the file, you can also go in here. But we're not editing any of those things. You also have some presets up here that you can edit if you want to look through those. But again, we're not doing any of that. But if you only want to save the audio, you can do audio only. Or there's some other stuff. I'm not entirely sure what all this is. But there is YouTube, that's fairly obvious. So yeah, now we got that. Now we're going to click on render all, and we're going to go ahead and render it. And this is such a small clip that it really doesn't even matter. So now that that's complete, we're going to go ahead and look in here, and we're going to see DR renders. In fact, we can go ahead and open this. So now, waterfall. Okay, we need to talk about something real quick. So last video, I went over some of the changes that we're making to the channel and all of this. And something I did not feel like I mentioned is, for one, how Instagram was changing. I feel like that deserves some clarity. Instagram is changing in a way of its purpose. I'm going to be using it for things other than announcements for live streams. And what I'm going to be using it for is what I call Instagram info dumps. Basically, it is me expanding upon a concept or a specific thing in tutorials, pretty much. Say keyframes, for example. I will eventually do one on keyframes. But say with keyframes, once we go over that in a tutorial, I'm going to make a short to upload to Instagram and YouTube Shorts. Will be there in order to sort of teach things to you guys in bite-sized pieces in a quick manner without fluffing up the video. I wanted to do that. I didn't want to bloat the video or anything. I don't want to bloat videos with small little details just because I can. However, the whole point of this video was, again, to expand on the basics. So that I also want to clarify what the content will be on. It's on graphic design, it's on film, it's on editing, and yes, it's tutorials on those things. That's also something I feel like I didn't clarify enough in the last video. So there's that. And gaming videos are going away. I may make a personal channel to do things like that, just games and live streams on them, but we'll see. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below. It helps me out. It helps this video. Liking this video will push the algorithm to send this video towards more people. Go forwards, my minions. If you do, thank you so much for that. And if you feel like seeing more content like this, if you feel like content like this might help you on future endeavors, whether you're interested in film or whether you're interested in taking your hand at YouTube, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you do get notifications on the next time I upload or stream or whatever. So thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys later. Peace.